Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. It is Tuesday. It's December the 1st, so we're starting a new month this today, and this will be the final month of the year, so we're really wrapping up the year today. Um, Today was, I don't know, I wouldn't really say it was complicated, but there was a lot going on here. I mean, your first clue is that prices are swinging back and forth above the EMA. That's generally the sign that you're kind of more in a range and you can trade both sides when it's like that. So don't be afraid to trade both sides. Um, Early on, I was looking at this channel right here. Turns out it's just a bigger two-tiered channel. Um, and all you, what you know, there's no way to know that this is a two-tiered channel till the day's almost over. So, but what you do is you get your equal distance from here to here, and you put it down here, and if you bounce right there a couple of times, and you know um, that it's a bigger, that there's another, the other side of the channel is down here. I also saw this blue channel, and this is really what I spent more time trading the range and the blue channel. You really didn't need this red channel. Once it broke through here and didn't bounce, it didn't come into play until it bounced down here off the equal distance line, telling you that it's two-tiered. So, really I traded the range and this two-tiered blue channel right here, and you still get the same basic bounces down here off of this one that you would the brownish one. And so it's a little convoluted, I mean, you got to have a good eye and experience to see this stuff, basically. So that's why I told somebody else today they were having a hard time. I said, you're better off to draw your shorter term trends because look, you got this one to break a new high, this one coming down a break a new low, this one coming up a break a new high, and once this one started going higher, this one you got a break, you never could get a new low, you got the failed second entry short, but that's because the main trend line, the brown one, and then the blue one. So it took precedence over this real short term one. So it didn't surprise me that we failed and went higher, but then you got this shorter term trend working higher to trade here. And so, like I said, you're better off trading the shorter term ones and the shorter term channels and stuff like that. If you find the bigger ones, that's great. By all means, pay attention to them. But sometimes you're better off going a little shorter term. And that's what I did. But let's back out, talk about what I did see as far as trades, and so I can get this uploaded for everybody to see. The first trade I saw, let me move this out of the way. We actually had a trend line working up here. That's what I don't have on here. And we got a break, but we didn't get a new high. And then this shot right through the EMA. So you're thinking, hey, it's a possibility of a short here. And you get the break of this one coming down, then you get a first entry, pull back. But look at your second entry. You got about 3 different bars stacked up there, dojis, and this is not a real good signal bar to go short. It's semi-bearish because it closed way down in here, but it's not bearish. And it would have worked if you took it. If you had a better signal bar, then I'm okay going short right there. But based on what I see on my chart, I didn't like it enough to risk it. I thought, we're getting real sideways here. So I wanted to see what happened. And of course, we get the failure lower. So then I went long. So I will circle that one green, but it's based on what it looked like on your chart. If it doesn't look any better than mine, I don't think I'd go short there. But if you had a nice signal bar there, a big bearish signal bar, then by all means go short there because it would have worked. It would have gotten just enough for your scalp, and then it reverses. But you can still treat that like a failure. So I like that to go long. And then it pulls back, and it gives you a second entry counting off the low right here. And generally, I would add on. You didn't really have enough. Well, I take that back. At that point, I had this up here, so I'm thinking there's plenty of room to get out. So I added on. I like adding on right there. And then it turns down again and bounces yet again. And so now you got a failed second entry short. And so I really like getting on there now and this thing takes off. So you could have stacked up 3 trades right there. It's a little, once you've got 2, and it still gives you another little fake out before it goes higher. It's hard. It's hard to do that. You got to be very disciplined, and so you might have been better off just sitting tight to see what happened. Um, and you might have even scratched out with whatever it could give you. But I liked hanging on, especially when it tried to go lower 2 more times, because that's a failed second entry short, and that's a big bearish bar. And I guarantee you they fooled a lot of people getting short right there. And look at that thing take off. And then once it took off, you're looking for a measured move like this first leg. And you see that we got there and tried to back up, and then it kept going. So really nice trade. You might have even measured it from right here or where the channel is, and you see you get a little closer but generally you got to measure. I always measure it from the lowest swing, and we didn't. And notice a lot of people started exiting there. You're getting way away from the EMA, so pretty soon it's going to snap back most likely, and that is a measured move. And probably your traders that better understand where to exit were probably exiting right there, but it did end up going higher. There's some good buying there. They trapped a lot of people, obviously, and they carried it up. There was some news that came out. I forget what it was today, manufacturing or something around 9 o'clock, and that's what drove the sell-off here. We went right through what looked like it might be the trend line on the low end. But I didn't like entering up here. You didn't get a break lower here. It does come right off the trend line, but that's really only your second touch of that trend line. I got the trend line off the top and slid it over. And you can see it's holding. Then you get a break here, but you don't want to be going long way up here this far away from the EMA. In fact, once you got the break here to new high, really, if you want to be aggressive, I'm okay with going short there. It is aggressive trade. I'm going to mark it though, because the odds are we're coming back to that EMA, and you see what happens. It pushes through, pulls back, gives you a failed second entry long. Notice the new high, pull back first entry, pull back second entry. That's 2 measured legs down and a little failed break higher. Go short right there. And it's tempting to go short right here, but look at how that's stacked up across there. 4 bars, a couple of dojis in there. It's just really, you do get a breakout pullback short here. So I like that one better, but I still think that's a little bit aggressive. I'll mark the breakout pullback right there, because some people will probably be asking me about it. It's a little more aggressive, but there's no break of this trend line. And somebody asked me about going long right here. And if you're drawing these shorter term trend lines, you should see why you don't want to be going long. The main thing is you got a trend line here and you're closing inside it. You don't want to go long right there. On my chart, there's not even a decent signal bar. And then they start stacking up, and you get that one little break higher that traps people. That's what you're looking for this thing to push through the EMA and pull back and test it and then go on. And I don't like that one because of it's a little range, a little congestion area, but you get the breakout pullback short there. I'd rather enter there than here, to be honest. And this turns out to be you don't know that's going to happen though. You're going to miss something like that, and you can't let that get you antsy, because then you try to get short again and you get trapped. But we way overshot the channel, and we made a double bottom here. We come back. Look at that signal bar. You don't want to go short with that signal bar. You might have considered the next bar, but look at the stem on it. So if you do go short on that second entry, you want to see a break of this trend line first. And there's a shorter term one here. Probably you could have thought, well, maybe there's a break. This one would have worked if you waited on this one and then used a limit order and enter where you're supposed to enter a tick or so back in. But I'm not even going to mark it, because this trend line, first 2 swings, this is the first break. I I like going long there with it bouncing off that low because this looks like a range. And, you know, I was playing the range. And it was really tempting to go long down here. But with that little bar and then all the overlap right here, I don't like either one of those. But when you get the failed second entry short, generally that leads to your reversal. And then we pulled back and tested again. Um, this is just, notice this high, and you pull back, you go up, you pull back. That's like a little small two-legged pull back. You get a nice little bounce off the trend line. Um, I like that entry. We did have the break in a new high, so it's a little bit, it's real close to being green, but I really thought we'd go back and test this high. That's what I was looking for, so that's why I liked it. Sometimes you got to wonder if maybe this happened too early and they're going to wait for another break, but it didn't. It went a little bit higher and then it reversed, and then you get one working down. And you get a second entry short here, but it's right into the EMA, so you don't want to take that one. And there is a failed second entry long here, but this is so bearish, you know, that you might get a measured leg down like this one. So you got to be real careful entering here. And you finally get a break here, and then you get a push up, which you can treat that like a failed second entry short. And this turns out to be a nice trade. And then now you got support building here, and you get a little failed break lower. So, and there's two legs down there. See that little correction? And if you went to a smaller chart, you'd see it. Plus, there's two legs there as well. There's multiple two legs here because you got this leg, and you got the measured leg right there. It's basically a perfect measured leg. But then this second leg, there's two legs within it, and then one of these legs has two legs within it. The market moves in twos. And this one's a little harder to see, but the reason I like this is because we didn't, look how bearish that is, and it couldn't push through. And then it finally does, and it reverses instantly. That's like a little failed break out of that. This is like a midline between this high and this high. It looked very similar to yesterday, except instead of going down, we went up. So I like going long there. This bar is too big. Otherwise, it would have been tempting to go long right there. And now you're starting to get resistance here, and you're making lower highs. So I didn't like it. Then you make another higher low, and then another higher low. And this one, I drew this trend line off those first two swings. And then this confirms it and gives you a nice little bullish bar. So I like going long there. There's a hidden two-legged pullback right here. If you saw it, I'm going to draw it green, but if you saw that, you could actually enter right there. But it's aggressive because it's a hidden second entry long. You got to go to a smaller chart, but there's also that resistance right across there. So you got to be real careful, real careful with that. Then it pushes up, and you get a little double top here, right where you had. Actually, I had this right here. So this is similar to a failed break higher. But I don't think you want to, it's not that far away from the EMA. There's the midline here. It could bounce and go higher. So as good as that move is down, you just have to watch it go. You don't want to risk that. And then, of course, you get right down here. I would have moved that down, and you probably would have had it right here. When that closes, though, you can move it up. And you can see that's kind of the swing point, the support and the resistance, and it bounces right there again. But it also bounces off this possible trend line here. You didn't really have a lot of evidence for this yet, but when it bounced there, you measured from here to here, and it bounces there. But this red one is what you really had, and once it bounced here, then you know the blue one is valid. And so this one's a little bit aggressive because there's no break of this coming down, but you got this support across here. You got this right here, and it's bouncing right there. When it comes back and gives you the second entry, I like going long then for sure. And then it gives you the failed second entry short, which is the true one you want to go long on. And hopefully you understand why you're not looking to go short there, because it's right into all that support across there. And this one takes off. It actually pulls back and tests the trend line again, but you got to go long right into that little double high. It does go lower first and then go out the top. So, you know, you might consider that one as an aggressive trade. I don't like it though. Your better entry is down here. And there's then you get another pullback to it, but it's right into this resistance area. So you can't go long there. And then by the time you get another chance to go long, you're into the 2 o'clock hour. So nothing else. This is a nice little trend up. You could, if you were in down here, just ride this all the way until it gets too late in the day, and you get your first break. So you could have ridden that right in there just till you got the first break of the trend line. So turns out to be a good day, but you got to be a little more experienced today to see a lot of this stuff. You people probably struggle to find this. I got several different emails, and people were seeing all kind of stuff. There might even be something else in here that I missed, but this is what I was looking at. And again, I wasn't paying too much attention to the red one or the brown one once we shot through here until it reached the equal distance over here when it bounced there. But you also had the support right across here, and then once you got those two swings and it bounces off of it again, and the rest of this stuff fits into place, then you got another reason right there. But you didn't need anything but this support line right across here. And that's obvious. Look at that support across there. How many times it's bounced? So, but that's about it for today. Just trying to look and see if there's anything else here worth talking about. I don't think so. And you might have you might have looked at this as well. This being one leg, and then starting, because there's two legs, one leg pull back, second leg. So that could be a one bigger leg, and then looking for a measured move there, and that would have got you up here to these highs again. You can see that's about where we started finding resistance again. It went a little bit higher, but you always want to look at that stuff. So, but I'm going to wrap it up. Not much else more to talk about. I'd like to get this uploaded. It's a little late in the evening. People are probably looking for it. So, hope you had a good trading day. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow, but I'm done for today. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.